SEO, or search engine optimization. This is something that I've tossed around before in this course, and it's probably something you've heard about. Basically what SEO is making sure that your website appears in search engines and optimizing your content and just making sure that search engines like Google and Bing and Yahoo know that your site exists. So to do this, we can add plugins to our website that actually build a sitemap, which is what we call it, of your website for these search engines. Here are 3 plugins that I can recommend, and I've used all of them. And ultimately, I decided to use Yoast SEO because it has some additional options that I'll talk about. But the first one that I can recommend is Google XML Sitemaps. This is one that has been downloaded millions of times, and it was highly recommended a few years ago when I was getting started out by Pat Flynn, who started the Smart Passive Income Show. It still does a great job, and if all you want to do is tell search engines that your website is there in the world, this is a great plugin to install. The other 2 options have some additional bonuses, such as things like helping you make sure that your content is SEO friendly. All-in-one SEO pack is one option, and Yoast SEO is the other. And you can see if you search and look up these 2, you'll see that they also have XML sitemaps within this plugin. So you don't need multiple of these. And the thing about plugins that I'll just mention really quickly is that having a lot of plugins will slow down your website. So you don't want to have a bunch of extra plugins for that reason. Also, it just means that you have to maintain them, keep updating them. So I try to recommend limiting your plugins to only the ones you really need. I'm going to install Yoast SEO. Once I've installed it, we have the SEO menu right here on the left. So just go to the dashboard. When you first install it, you might get a couple of errors or notifications. One is that it points out that we're blocking access to search engines. So to change this, we have to go to our reading settings, which we can go straight through this link, or go to settings, reading. Down here, we have search engine visibility. So we want to uncheck this to make sure that our site can be searched by search engines. We'll save changes. And let's go back to the SEO dashboard. Now we have to configure our plugins. So the first notification tells us where we can do that. So click plugin to configure. And you're going to have to walk through a series of steps to configure Yoast. So just go through this menu, and then once you're done with that, come back to this video. So pause this video and then come back. Here I'm on my Video School Online site, and I already have Yoast installed, so I want to show you what it can do. On the dashboard page, you can go through the different tabs to configure Yoast SEO for you. You'll want to go through these things and make sure that you have all of your information set up, such as your company information, company logo. If you are using Webmaster Tools, which are the custom tools for each of these websites, you can go ahead and verify them here. One of the first things you want to do is make sure that you go to the XML sitemap setting and enable it. Once you've installed and enabled the XML sitemap, the other cool thing that this tool allows you to do is improve your SEO for your posts and pages. Here's an example of a post that I wrote for Video School Online. So this is the post page you can see where I have all kinds of titles, images, all kinds of stuff that I posted. And down below, we have this new window that pops up called Yoast SEO. And you can see that it kind of grades us on how well our SEO is. And they'll give you any sort of errors if it's not. For each post, you can put in your focus keyword. This is the keyword that you're hoping that if people search for this keyword, your post shows up. Now, one of the warnings that I get is that the keyword density for this post is too low. It's only found 3 times on this entire post, and so they're wanting me to use the keyword more often. Other things that it checks off though are things like the page title looking nice, the keyword appearing in the URL of the page. That's why we set up our permalinks so that our URL actually includes the keywords of our posts. It also looks at the images that we've added to our page and the alternative text to make sure that our text relates to our keyword. And it looks at our subheadings. Remember we talked about how subheadings can affect your SEO? Well, Yoast SEO plugin tells us if our headings are good or not. Another thing that you can look at is the readability. which helps make your posts more readable. One thing that it sees in mine is that one of our subheadings is followed by more than 300 words. Now, this is their recommendation that we don't have more than 300 words following a subheading, and if we do, to use another subheading. Here's an example of a blog post I did for my podcast, and this one has a lot more warnings, so I really need to work on this. The keyword is Teresa Greenway interview, which I plugged in here, but I have lots of problems with that because it's not included in the title, it's not in the URL, it's not in any of the headings really. So I do have to work a bit on this post, but that's why Yoast SEO is so great. It helps us make our posts much more SEO friendly. So that's the Yoast SEO plugin. It's a great way to make sure that sites can find your website.